Guys, if you're a beginner tattoo artist, this video is for you. These are 7 common tattoo mistakes that every beginner makes and how to avoid them. Guys, so the first tip I want to share with you is one that is massively overlooked by a lot of artists, and that is to check your needles before you use them. So most people are using cartridge systems, so I'll show you an example. You want to be looking to make sure that the needle is not defective, and this is quite common with some cheaper cartridges. So the things you're looking out for are that the needles are all sharp and there are no blunt needles. You want to make sure that the needle is central to the cartridge and not sort of hanging off to one side. You also want to check to make sure that there's not excessive wobbling, because the membranes that control the tattoo needles can sometimes be defective, so that is something to look out for. Now, it's very important that you do this because if you do use a defective needle on a client, it can affect your tattoos, can also cause excessive amounts of pain and swelling and stuff like that. So that is definitely not something that you want. So make sure that you're checking those needles every time you open a new needle and before you use that on the skin. Guys, this one's less practical, but this is a mistake that so many tattoo artists are making at the moment, and this is mixing your social media. So I get that it's quite tempting to want to share, with your clients, your personal life, your dog and your holidays and whatever sort of social life that you've got. But this is not good business. You want to keep your tattoo life separate from your personal life, because this does actually affect the amount of followers and subscribers and stuff like that you're actually going to get. Because if you've got 1 or 2 little personal posts on there, you can get away with that. But if half your posts are personal and half of them are tattoos, that is very confusing for clients, and just to be honest, people are just turned off by that in general. So guys, don't make that mistake when you're starting out. Make sure that you are keeping your business and your personal life separate. Guys, the next one I want to share with you is about client positioning. Now, it's hard to know when you're starting out, but different tattoo areas require your client to be in a certain position. So it could be a lying position or a seated position. The common areas are, lower back, back of the arm, inside of the arm, things like that. You need to be making sure that you are doing your research on how to position a client before you're doing a tattoo, because this is going to cause a massive comfort issue for both you and the client, and yes, it's not going to be good. The main thing that you want when you're doing a tattoo is to make sure that the skin is kind of stretched out, but it's not overly stretched out and it's not twisted or in an unnatural position. So do your research before you are placing your clients down and doing your tattoos, because if you're doing a long session, it's going to cause you all kinds of drama. Guys, another quick practical one for you here, and that is making sure the cartridge is securely in the machine. Now, every machine and every cartridge might have a slightly different tolerance, but some of them do require a little bit of force to actually just twist in that cartridge and make sure that is in the needle properly. If you're using traditional needles, there's also you have to bend them. You have elastic bands as well if you like. There's lots of little different tips and tricks for that, but that's for another video. As a beginner, as you know, I mainly recommend using a cartridge system, and so this is for cartridge users. Get that in the machine and twist it all the way to the left. Make sure that is securely in there. If it's not in there properly, it's going to rattle around and it's going to give you inconsistent tattoos. So do watch out for that one, guys. If there's any questions or anything like that, just pop them in the comments. But guys, let's move on to the next tip. And this one is about, this one is actually a difficult one for not just beginners, but every tattoo artist in general. And that is pricing your tattoos. So a couple of things to watch out for is pricing for designs. Now, if someone comes to you with a tattoo design, it's going to take 4 hours or whatever, and you're just copying that onto the skin, you charge for that however you would normally charge. But if you want a custom tattoo that's actually going to take an extra 4 hours to design, you need to be putting that into your price, because you don't want to be wasting time and not getting paid for it, guys. If you're putting loads of time into designing a tattoo, that needs to be reflected in your price, because that is custom work, and that comes at a premium, guys. So make sure that you are putting that into your price. The next thing is, when you start out, you might have your initial clients and you might give them a cheap rate. And just bear in mind that it's very hard to increase your rates on people. So you either want to make sure that's a fair rate to start off with, nothing like ridiculous, or you want to just let them know that once you do get more experience that your prices are going to be going up, so there's no shocks. That's actually a bit of an issue, because most people keep their clients, if they're any good anyway, they will keep their clients, their initial clients. So make sure that you aren't actually just selling yourself short by doing that. So guys, that's something to look out for. Guys, the next one I want to share with you is a bit of a grey area, but this is about copying other people's tattoos. Now, in my opinion, I think if people are putting their designs online, that is fair game to use. It's nice to alter it a little bit, just if you can. and just expect that tattoo is obviously going to be copied a load of other times, so it's not going to be an original tattoo. But I think that's fair game if someone puts their design online. But what isn't is actually stealing a tattoo from someone else's skin. So what you'll find is that people will actually get a photo of a tattoo off someone's skin, Photoshop it, print it out, and then reapply that onto someone else's skin, and that is a little bit of a no-no, and it's actually not good for you because you can't really show that tattoo off, because other artists aren't going to respect that. Not good for your portfolio, and it's just the tattoos aren't going to come out as good either, because you're using a lower resolution photo and it's probably distorted. So guys, don't do that. Watch out for that. But as I say, if you can, try and alter your designs, keep all your tattoos original if you can, because that's going to give you a bit more of an identity as a tattoo artist. Now, last tip for you guys, as I say, this is a bit of a special one for people who have watched the whole video, so thanks for that. But this is about investing in yourself. So a lot of tattoo artists, especially when they start out, won't invest the right money into the equipment. So they'll use a subpar machine, subpar power supply, maybe subpar needles, and their whole setup just won't be professional. You want to make sure that you've got everything, including a stencil printer if you can afford it. You want to make sure you've got all the equipment, because this is going to keep your client retention high, because people are going to know that you know what you're doing, that you are a serious tattoo artist who has invested in themselves. It's also going to improve your tattoos, and it's just going to do a world of good. So make sure that you're not using subpar equipment, make sure that you are investing in yourself. And if you have got anything that is outdated, let's look at trying to upgrade that. If you're using coil machines, let's maybe look at moving to a rotary. Those are a bit outdated, and it's everything, guys. So it's not just the main equipment, it's everything that you use for your hygiene, it's your tattoo workstation, it's everything. So make sure that you're investing in yourself so that people know that you are serious about tattooing. Guys, those are all the tips I've got for you today. Thanks for watching. Any questions in the comments, and I'll see you next time.